My name is Mason. Here's my story in plain words. My marriage didn't end with a big fight. It died slowly. One Tuesday night, I put a hand on my wife Rachel's shoulder at the sink, and she flinched like I was a live wire. No argument, no tears. Just the kind of cold that tells you something is broken. That was my wake-up call. I decided right then to stop begging for basic affection. I moved into the guest room, split the bills, and told myself I wouldn't chase someone who didn't want me. That weekend, we went to a barbecue. Rachel embarrassed me in front of friends with little jokes about me getting too emotional and into self-help. I set my drink down, thanked the hosts, and said, "My therapist says not to eat where I'm disrespected." Then I left. It wasn't a scene. It was a boundary. A few days later, I spotted Rachel's car at a fancy coffee shop she never uses. I parked across the street. Through the window, I saw her with a man in his 40s. Nice watch, rolled-up sleeves, polished smile. They weren't talking like co-workers. She touched his arm. He held her hand. No kiss, but you didn't need one. When they left, I followed him, not her. He drove into a rich neighborhood and pulled into a perfect house. A woman, his wife, came out and kissed him hello. He had a whole family life waiting for him. That night, I did some digging. His name was Derek Morrison, Senior VP at my wife's company, Hutchinson and Reed. Rachel worked in marketing. He was in her chain of command. It wasn't random. It was a workplace affair. I found his wife's name, Mara, and her number. I called. I told her who I was, what I'd seen, and that I had photos. She said, "Send them." I did. She wrote back, "Where can we meet?" We met at a public park. We sat on a bench like two strangers at a bus stop and compared notes. She'd felt something was off. Late nights, quick showers the second he got home, classic signs. I told her about the coffee shop, the hand-holding, the driveway kiss, the address. She told me company policy forbids relationships between supervisors and subordinates. We made a simple plan: confront our spouses with the truth, then report it properly. The next evening, Mara came to my house. We printed the timeline, photos, screenshots, dates. At 6:17, Rachel walked in, still looking at her phone. She looked up and froze when she saw Mara sitting in our living room. "Who is she?" she snapped. I said, "Meet the wife of your boss and your lover." Her face drained. Mara took out her phone and calmly showed the photos. Coffee shop, hands, timestamps. Rachel tried the standard lines. "It's not what it looks like. We're just friends. He's mentoring me." Then, the fallback. "We never slept together." I said, "So it's an emotional affair with your married boss." "That's your defense?" I told Rachel she'd be packing a bag and leaving that night. The deed was in my name because her credit was awful when we bought the house. I didn't yell. I didn't insult. I laid out facts and choices. Mara told her she'd be reporting Derek to HR in the morning. Rachel paced, cried, slammed drawers upstairs, and finally dragged 2 suitcases down. She said we'd regret it. I told her I only regretted not doing this sooner. She left. Next morning, I called Hutchinson and Reed HR and calmly gave my name, the policy violation, and said I'd email documentation. Patricia in HR said they'd treat it seriously. I sent everything, well labeled. By lunch, Mara texted, "Derek was suspended pending investigation." Over the next weeks, HR did what HR does: interviews, legal, ethics. 3 months later, he was out. Call it terminated, call it mutual, but everyone knew. Rachel moved in with her sister. She tried spin. "I was cruel. I kicked her out." She reappeared once with an apple pie and big eyes. I kept the door mostly closed and said we could talk on the porch. She did the soft voice. She asked for 5 minutes. I agreed to the porch only. She started with, "I miss us." I said, "Which us? The one where you lied, or the one where you flinched when I touched your shoulder?" She repeated the "we never slept together" line. I told her that wasn't the point. She reached to touch my arm. I stepped back. "That doesn't work anymore," I said. She got mad. "Everything has to be your rules now." I said yes, because boundaries are what you rebuild after someone burns your house down. She said I'd regret not forgiving her. I told her forgiveness isn't curbside delivery. It's earned with time and change behavior. She left with the pie. A neighbor later said it was dry. Fitting. Meanwhile, Mara and I stayed in touch. Not romantically. Just 2 people who knew the same pain at the same time. We grabbed coffee at a normal spot, walked in the park, texted updates. When her mom said to fight for the marriage, she asked me what I thought. I told her, keeping trash doesn't make you loyal. It makes you a raccoon. She laughed for a full minute and said, I'm not being a raccoon. Divorce, I learned, is 90% paperwork and 10% realizing you should have left earlier. Derek tried the harassment angle through a lawyer. Her lawyer sent back evidence and policy. It got quiet after that. He lost the job. She filed. She got her peace. As for me, I didn't chase reconciliation. I fixed the house, put my clothes in my own closet, played my music, watched what I wanted. No more tiptoeing. No more groceries on Friday night. No more pretending a cold bed was normal. I called my friend Jerry, who's been through 2 divorces and somehow kept his humor. He said, welcome back to the land of the living. Rachel tried one more time to play the crowd at a party. I didn't bite. People asked how I was. I told the truth. Better. I slept. I cooked. I went to work and actually focused. I didn't check her location, didn't wonder what she was doing. The silence felt expensive, in a good way. It was the sound of peace. Mara and I created a new kind of routine. Coffee once a week, a walk now and then. We didn't talk about Derek and Rachel every time. We talked about normal things, work hassles, good books, dumb shows, the price of eggs. She started seeing a guy who owns a bookstore and shows up when he says he will. The bar is low, she joked. But I like it low. I told her reliability is underrated. When people ask how I moved on, I say I didn't move on. I moved up. Up from being an afterthought. Up from begging for crumbs. Up from thinking loyalty means ignoring my own pain. I chose boundaries over chaos, honesty over spin, quiet over noise. The cleanest moment of the whole thing was that living room reveal. Rachel walked in, saw Mara, and everything stopped. No shouting. No insults. Just the truth sitting on the couch with a folder. Meet the wife of your boss, I said. That silence did more than any speech could. It ended the pretending. It started my life back up. If you're where I was, here's what I learned, plain and simple. You can't fix a marriage alone. We never slept together isn't a free pass for lying and emotional cheating. Boundaries are not dramatic. They're oxygen. Documentation beats arguments. HR policies exist for reasons. Use them, don't abuse them. Forgiveness can come later or never. Either is okay. Peace is a better goal than revenge. Revenge fades. Peace sticks. Today I still brush my teeth beside the same mirror, but the man in it isn't bracing for impact anymore. He's calm. He smiles because he kept his dignity. He didn't throw plates. He didn't smear anyone online. He told the truth once, clearly, and let the chips fall. The best revenge wasn't hurting Rachel or Derek. It was becoming someone who doesn't need either of them for anything. Love, worth, or peace. Their absence is irrelevant now. My life is quiet in the best way. Coffee tastes good. Music sounds better. Sleep is simple. My name is Mason. I thought my marriage needed fireworks to end. It didn't. It needed a plan, a boundary, a truth, and a door that closes. I'm fine, really fine, and that's the whole point. Thanks for watching PLZ. Like and subscribe.